Hey, my name is Misty, and I wanted to take a moment to share with you 3 reasons why I absolutely love Sistaco, as well as a short demo on how you can do something like this from the comfort of your home. It'll save you money, give you a creative outlet. It's really just an awesome system. I came across Sistaco probably like many of you, where I saw an ad and that ad kept reoccurring, day after day, until finally I decided to take a chance, and I am so glad that I did. So reason number 1 why I love Sistaco is that it is affordable. It saves money as far as if you want salon quality nails, but you don't want to have to spend the time and the money to go to the salon, this system is definitely for you. It's very quick and easy, which is the number 2 reason why I absolutely love Sistaco. I can do a simple manicure in 10 minutes easily, and I'm ready to go. There's no dry time. I don't have to worry about smudging, and like I said, it is so easy to use. I'm sure you've probably seen some videos on it. We're gonna also do a demo, and you'll see really how easy it is. And then the 3rd and final reason is the community. So there is a Sistaco collective group on Facebook that has over 50,000 members as of the time of this recording. And that group is amazingly supportive. You'll find people who are rooting you on, that'll give you inspiration. If you have a question or an issue, then they're right there to help you. And I know that I have seen some amazing manicures in the Sistaco collective group that have inspired me. And I've learned so much from those in the community. So that's the number 3 reason why you really do need this system. So we're gonna go ahead and get into a quick demo here. So what I have here is a simple manicure. I'm not using a ton of colors. You can get as simple or as complicated as you want with this system. So I just did kind of a French tip on 3 of my nails, and then I have the solid color, and then I used one of the new powders called Glazed Forest that gives kind of the metallic shine, which is really hard to pick up on the camera, but a super cool way to dress up even a simple manicure. So very excited to show you this. So what I'm gonna do is I've actually already done 3 of the 5 nails on this hand. We're gonna do these 2 together, so that way I'll show you how I do like a French tip versus a solid coverage nail. And we will start from the powder step. So I already have base coat applied. When you apply the base coat, a phrase that you want to keep in mind is thin to win. So you really want thin coats with this system, which really kind of goes against what we're used to. We're used to the thicker coverage, the better. But with Sistaco, if you want it to last long and you don't want peeling, then you need to do nice, thin, even coats. So I've already done my base coat, like I said, and then I've cured for 1 minute. And the color that we're gonna be using is Apple. It's a classic powder. One thing that's really cool about Sistaco is that whether you do a classic powder or a holographic or metallic powder, there are different ways to apply it. There's really no rules. There's some guidelines that you can adhere to really help you, but you can break the rules and experiment, and it's so much fun to do it. So I'm gonna move you guys down to my workspace here, and we'll get started. All right. So I have my Sistaco pedestal. If you don't have this, you need it. This collects all of your free powder and allows you to either, put this back into the pot for later. You could put like a cupcake liner to make that easier if you want. Or what I like to do is I like to collect from the various manicures that I do and you get a mystery color when you're done. So either way works, but it is definitely a tool you want in your toolkit. So as I mentioned, we are using Apple, and then this is one of the newest range of colors. This is the Glazed Forest that we will use as well. So I am going to be using a couple different tools here. So I have the double-ended applicator that has like the brush on one side, and then kind of like the eyeshadow applicator on the other. And I like to use, when I'm doing like a tip manicure, I like to use the eyeshadow end. It just gives me a little bit more control. You could apply like tape if you are really meticulous. They also, you can buy like the little strips that help for guides. I'm just gonna do it straight. I have fairly decently long nails, thanks to Sistaco, that they've really helped my nails grow stronger and longer. So I'm just gonna follow kind of my natural line here. So I'm not gonna use any guides. So what I'm going to do is just dip this into my powder just very lightly. Again, you want thin coats, thin to win. And I'm just gonna very lightly dab along my white edge of my nail. And just very carefully go here. When you're applying your base coat, I don't remember if I had said this, but you want to make sure that you do what's called capping of your nails when they're long enough. And what that is, and I'll show you with the top coat, but you basically run the brush along the free edge of the nail, and we'll do that, like I said, with the top coat, but you also want to make sure you do it with your base coat. And then I like to also kind of dab the powder on there too, but you don't necessarily have to. Okay, so that one's done. For the full coverage, I'm actually going to switch and use the other side. So I like to use the brush when it's when I'm doing a classic application and it's the entire nail, and you just want to brush it right on. And you don't have to worry about the powder getting on your skin, as long as you don't have any base or top coat on your skin. The powder will wash right off. So when I'm all the way done, I can just go wash my hands and that powder will come right off. Oops, I'm using a little bit too much powder, but luckily I can just brush it off. Okay, and that's why I love this little pedestal to catch all of that free powder, and I'm not wasting it. Okay, so we have this done. Now, if you're following the directions that come with Sistaco, you would go directly into applying the top coat. One thing that I like to do that I picked up from some of the tips in the collective group is I'll actually cure the powder layer a little bit too. And that just kind of helps from the color dragging. So like, especially when I'm doing a tip like this, you know, I don't want that color to drag down into the clear spot. So I'm just gonna take my brush and try to get some of the free powder off. You can get this brush, you know, at the website too, and it's absolutely amazing. And then I'm gonna just do a short cure, maybe, I don't know, 15 seconds or so. Again, it just helps with dragging. It's an optional step. You do not have to do this in order to succeed with your manicure. All right, that's probably good enough for me. One thing I'll note is I'm not too picky because I'm going to be doing the glazed forest on top that already has like a green sheen to it. So if I get a little bit of dragging, I'm not too worried because it's going to blend in, you know, with that glazed forest that we're going to do as well. So I'm going to just grab my top coat. And I'll just use my pedestal here. Usually I move my pedestal out of the way. But just so I know that this is in the shot, I'm gonna keep it in here. So here's what I'm doing with capping. I'm running that along the free edge of my nail. And then I usually go back over it just to kind of smooth so I don't get like a glob going horizontal there. And then, again, that lovely saying, thin to win. Same thing with your top coat. You want to apply a thin layer of the top coat. And that just helps everything stay on a lot longer, prevents chips and peeling. So that would probably be my two biggest tips is the thin coats and then the capping. All right, so now we are going to cure this for we're going to do a short press of the button. That's 1 minute. If you hold down the button, it'll actually cure for 2 minutes. We don't necessarily want that because we're not quite done. I do like doing a longer cure at the end just to make sure everything's good to go. Again, you probably don't really need it. It's just more of a habit, you know, my type of method that I do. So once this is done, we're going to use the glazed forest. If you did not get the glazed range before they sold out, I am so sorry because now you're going to have to wait a little while for them to come back and restock. But definitely keep your eyes open because you want these. They transform different colors, especially on like the darker colors like Raven. These give a really cool metallic effect that like alters the original color. I don't see it as much with the apple, but you can, I don't know if the camera picks it up too much here. You can kind of see that the apple is a little bit brighter without the glazed forest, and it also isn't metallic-y. It doesn't change color in the light. But the one with the glazed forest on top is darker, and depending on the light, I get a little bit different undertones there. All right, so with the glazed range, these follow the metallic application. So what that means is we are going to get just a tiny bit of powder. It really doesn't take much. And with the sponge, I'm gonna rub back and forth while I'm pushing down. And you almost want to hear it squeak is how I've heard people describe it. So you want to push fairly hard, and what that's doing is it's breaking up the powder into fine details and mixing it in with that top coat. And this gives any classic powder that you apply the glazed range on, gives it that metallic finish. And you can already kind of see that, or I can. If you can't pick it up on the camera, I am sorry. So this is top coat again. I'm just doing the final layer here. And obviously, if I was doing this, you know, without wanting to record anything, I would have done this with all the rest of my nails. So it wouldn't take, you know, an extra amount of time like it is right now, since I saved, you know, the 2 nails to do separately for you guys. And normally I would do a double cure here, but just for the, oh, I think I did hold it down as I was talking. So I hope that this was helpful, especially for any of you who are new to Sistaco. It's definitely something I recommend. I'm totally addicted. I have way too many powders and definitely want more. So be warned that you will fall in love with it. And for those of you who maybe tried it and are struggling with any portion, you know, reach out in the Sistaco Collective group. There are so many people that want to help you and be there to support you, so don't give up. And that's all that I have for you. Again, this is the final look, and thank you for joining me.